Hey, moms, dads, Dr. Matt here with Reformed Family Chiropractic. Breaking news! Kids' sleep is all jacked up right now. I know, for you as well, right? This time of year, we have a couple things. So remember, we just had a full moon. We won't get into all that on this one, but it does play with gravitational pull, messes with everybody, okay? So God designed it that way. But what we have is this thing called the time change, right? Lost an hour, everything's messed up, spring break, and you may be having a hard time getting your kids back on track. So that's why we wanted to spend some time today diving into 5 easy steps to help get your kid back on track. I know, I'm a parent, I got 3 kids. I know there's nothing easy about kids, okay? Every once in a while, everything clicks together and it's like the most magical day ever. You're like, ah, okay, but not often. Here we go. So we're recovering for the busyness. We've been traveling, we've been moving and shaking. You may be on spring break right now and dreading coming back because you know how jacked up your kid's gonna be. So we wanna give you, so I wanna share something from our family to you. When my kids were little, very little, we were very big advocates for early to bed. Now, my kids are 17, 14, and 12 now, so we've been through those early stages and I remember, and we were sleep advocates. We literally at one point were putting my McKenna, my oldest, to bed at 4:30. And granted, there was a time change thing that kicked in there, so it was just for a little while. But we saw a huge dramatic difference for her the earlier we put her to bed. So when your kids are struggling, they're usually telling you they're tired a lot sooner than you think. Okay, so, and we go through these phases every 90 minutes. So if we miss that window, we usually don't have another opportunity for another 90 minutes. So think about that. Earlier is better. Make it fun. Use books, songs. This is such a great connecting time for us as parents with our kids to really pour into them, to hear their hearts, to listen, have them tell you stories, get them talking. Oh man, get that right brain really engaging, get that whole parasympathetic leaning into that. I want to add one in here. Make sure their environment for them where they're sleeping is cool and comfortable and as dark as you can. So if you need a nightlight, try and use something that's amber colored, okay? We'll talk about another time how blue light affects the brain and how that puts you into sympathetic overload. Okay, number 2, use white noise, okay? Find something your kids love, whether that's the Tibetan monks' gongs or it's the white noise app or the airplane app. You put an airplane sound on for me and I'm like, I'm gone, okay? So, or the car noise, that's another one that's very popular. But using white noise also puts us into a rhythm. It helps those kids have some sound. And sometimes kids need it absolutely quiet, which is hard, but most kids don't, okay? Fans work really well too, plus it keeps the air moving, keeps the room cool. So 2 birds, 1 stone, all right, mom and dad? I know this is hard because we now live in a culture that you and I probably don't even do this sometimes, is avoid screens 1 hour before bedtime. Okay, we're checking your email, we're catching up on texts, we're trying to get everything done. Is school canceled tomorrow? Is this tornado going to drop out of the sky? We're looking for all that stuff, okay? But what we want to make sure we do is avoid screens 1 hour before bedtime to allow that brain to detox from all that magnetic radiation, and also to help them deal with that blue light that comes from the screen. We don't want to be in blue light mode. We don't want to be there, okay? So even with those blockers on there, it's best to let it rest. All right, next thing here is avoid those quick, unhealthy, energy-driving foods, okay? We don't want to spike. Now, there's some good things you can eat before bed, and we'll talk about that here in a bit, but avoid unnatural colors, carbs, processed foods especially. You can add more veggies, but really fill that up. Get a good dinner. Make sure you eat as much as you can there. I know this is hard for you picky eaters, for your sensory families. This is like the worst time of day for you is mealtime. But the more veggies you add, berries, nuts. Now I want to speak to nuts. Nuts, especially cashews, if you can, banana, and some Himalayan salt. And you can do these little rolls with that, put it on there, a little bite. It is a nutrient-rich brain food that will help them really sleep well. So something to think about, okay? Number 5, make sure the nervous system is all in brake pedal mode. What I mean by brake pedal mode is parasympathetic, rest, digest, recover. If you're not there, if you're not locked into that, it is really hard. If you're in fight or flight, if you're in that sympathetic overload and their day is running, the brain's, right? They're not calming down. So that's why some of your kids feel like they're literally like this. They're wanting to calm down. So take that time, walk through these steps, get them into that place where the brake pedal's on, slow everything down, follow the sun, get to bed sooner than you think because you need it too. All right, remember, brain has 2 modes, gas pedal mode, brake pedal mode, okay? Sympathetic is gas, parasympathetic is brake. If your kiddo is stuck in that busy brain, noisy brain, then it's gonna be hard for them to settle down. So Let us know what we can do to help you. We have an insight scan that will tell you how that brain is working, where they're more one or the other. And we'd love to show you what that looks like, especially if you feel like your kid's stuck in this pattern, not sleeping. So mom and dad, little secret, this applies for you too. Okay, so follow these steps for you, get some good rest, know that everything heals when we sleep, and know that we love you guys, and we'll see you soon.